Hello, my name's Katie Rushworth and today I'm going to show you how to prune a wisteria. Now lots of people find this quite tricky, but actually there are a couple of rules to follow which will make it much simpler. You tend to prune wisteria twice a year, once in June and once in January. Now this one has not been pruned for several years, so I'm doing it now, which is the autumn time. I'm going to show you both stages, how you would prune in June and in January, and it really is quite straightforward. So you can see this new shoot that is put on over the summertime. Now this is really soft and sappy growth, and the reason we don't want to leave it all on is because it will eventually exhaust the plant and it directs all the energy into creating all this new foliage, and actually we want all the energy to go into the flowers for next springtime. So when you see this in June, all this kind of wild growth, it does look exciting, but you want to cut it back to 5 to 6 buds. So where it's shooting from, you'll count 5 to 6 buds. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll cut like this. And I'm going to do that on all this kind of untamed growth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the most amazing velvety seed pods on, really beautiful. Now one of the reasons behind this is we really want to create great air circulation around the plant. What that will do is it'll free it up from lots of pests and diseases, and also it makes sure that there's not too much foliage on there, which will give the bare wood time to ripen, and that will give us more flowers. This is a really good stem that's naturally coming this way, so I'm not going to cut this one back because eventually I do want it to cover the wall that way, so I'm going to thread it through the trellis and help it find its way. They're really nice and pliable, so don't be scared to thread them through. That one's quite happy there. Now because this has not been pruned for so long, it is in quite a tangle, and don't be scared of pruning it. If you consider where the main branches are and the side shoots that are coming off those, that's really all you want to maintain, is that really nice strong framework. It's a really vigorous plant, is a wisteria, so you can be tough. Treat them mean to keep them keen, is what I say. They also really don't like being overcrowded. It's important that the sunshine gets to those buds in order for you to get lots of flower. Now the wisteria is really congested on this section behind this dogwood, so I'm going to be pretty ruthless and prune this hard back to the main stem. You can really see here just how congested it actually is. It's a real mess and tangle in there, so this will really benefit hugely from a good haircut. This branch is coming forward here. It's been pruned in the wrong direction, so it means that the new spur is coming all this way forward, and I really don't want that. So I'm going to take that back because I want new growth to grow horizontally along the wall like this. Now all the long whippy bits have been removed, then in January what you would do is you cut back to 2 or 3 buds. So following exactly the same principle, you would take it back to 2 or 3 buds. So from where it's growing, 1, 2, and then you would trim back again. 1, 2. You can see here some flower buds forming, and by opening up and cutting back all this wood, it will mean that these will ripen really nicely. This is actually a great example of how not to prune. This has been done previously, and it's not, the stem hasn't been cut back to a growth point, so all this has been left on, and all that will do will stay on the plant and die. That wants to be removed. And you can see here again, exactly the same, and you can see actually the coloration change. So you can see the stem that's alive and green, and then the shoot coming off, which it should have been cut back to, but it hasn't, it's been cut back to here. So all this then will die and recede back to the shoot. So that wants removing. And you'll have a much healthier plant if you prune that way. I think I'm about there, and it really is as simple as that. So just to recap, you prune twice a year, once in June. All that long whippy growth goes back to about 5 or 6 buds, and then in January you'll prune those same whippy stems back to 2 or 3 buds. Keep a nice open framework. It's about creating air circulation and allowing that wood to ripen over the winter time in the sunshine. I've given this quite the haircut, and I will be tempted to come back in January myself and take it back again. Like I said, it's a vigorous grower, so don't be shy. It will look all the better for it. For more how-to videos, visit silverlinetools.com.